Greeting, brothers and sisters. I greet you in the name of YAHUAH and His Son YAHUSHA HAMASHIACH. I'm going to talk about a subject today, hopefully that it helps some of you who are struggling with yourselves or certain spirits that flies, actually, that's trying to take dominion over the heart of your mind. Um, I know this journey, when you love Yahweh, it is very hard, whether you serving Him or not. It's the spiritual realms we are fighting with demons who actually we cannot see, that are trying to take dominion over the thoughts of men's heart to cause them to transgress against Yahweh, our Father in heaven. So I know it's hard, it's not easy, and the reason why it's tough on many of us is because we don't know how to fight back, and we have the weapons, and lack of knowledge and understanding is what will hold you back and make you lose the battle. And especially if those who have never heard of the Torah, who were not raised in the Torah, although you were raised as a Christian, it's the problem that's happening with Christianity is they tell you the laws do away with. And when the law itself is instructions to help you fight these demons that you encounter on a daily basis of your life, every seconds, minute, hours, whether you sleep or awake, they're fighting with you. Because Satan's agenda is to steal, kill, and destroy. And those demons in the spiritual realms and Satan, they don't love you, or they want to destroy mankind. That's his agenda, only to make sure that he destroys mankind. And as for us who come to the truth, or who knows something about the Bible, if you lack of wisdom and understanding, it's going to be hard for you to fight back. And if you allow yourself to be in an environment where people that you are around, they are already possessed with the demon, that demons already possess their mind, that they come to the point where the eyes, the spiritual eyes, are so dark, full of evil, so they're gonna deter you from doing what is righteous. So therefore, whatever is unnatural, whatever is evil, you're gonna see it good in your eyes. And that's why I will always encourage you guys to be careful or be aware of your environment, and you have to choose your friends carefully. Now, your friends that you should choose, like Yahusha, when his mother was looking for him and found him, and he was asking me, the man comes and says, hey, your father and your mother are looking for you. What did he say? Who's my mother, who's my father, but those who are to find delight in the word of God, Yahweh, God, who loves Yahweh. Those are the people you should surround yourself with, especially if you have some spirits that you're struggling with, and you cannot, you need this type of people around you to help you, so you don't give in easily to the devil. Because this is to resist the devil, and it would flee from you by using the word of Elohim. That's what's going to help you. It's not the subjects I'm going to be talking about. Like I said, it's a daily basis battle. We're in a battlefield. If you have the weapon, you don't know how to use it, you're going to lose. He's going to walk over you. He's going to take possession of your mind, of your heart, and you ain't going to be transgressing the law. You're going to be transgressing against Yahweh. And he's going to make you seeing things like rocks look like bread, because he's good at that. He's good at deceiving. He's the great deceiver. And, deception, that's what he does. He does that so that he can take you down to hell with him, to make sure that he destroys you. Now, most of those things I'm going to mention, like I say, we struggle with every day. Not everybody have the same struggles, but sometimes you find some with the same struggles. And we have to understand that we live in a society where they reject the word of Elohim, they reject the Torah, and makes it hard. Even some of you who hear the word and who want to serve Yahweh, and you find yourself in your family members who are against the Torah because they don't understand it, or they were raised in Christianity and they want to stick to the Christianity religion, that they don't want to cross over to what is righteous, the Torah that they're supposed to be following. So you find yourself living in a home either your father and your mother does not want to get to know Elohim or get to know the Torah, and you're the only one trying to fight to keep it, and and yet you have some struggles, and they can't really help you out. So I'm here doing this video is just to encourage you. Do not give up. Keep fighting. No matter what comes in front of you, no matter whatever you're struggling, you have the best weapon, which is the word of Elohim. You go back to the word. So that's why I'm gonna try to help you, let you understand those spirits you are fighting, they're not flesh and blood. Of course, they are the demons in the spiritual realms. They are there, they are alive, and they can transform to anything, and yet what they're out there to do is to destroy you. Make sure they destroy humanity. Make sure life humans cease to exist, because they're down there in the bottomless pit. They don't want to go down by themselves, but they're going to do whatever they can to take you down with them. And plus you find, like I said, the society that will eventually get into more wickedness instead of changing, just like the day of Noah. This is the time we're living in right now, just as the day of Noah. People are rejecting the truth. They get into all sorts of natural lifestyle, and which is causing, them to die, not only physically, but spiritually. And also the second death will have access to them because of lack of knowledge. And plus you find churches, like I say, pastors who are encouraging Christians, telling them the law is done away. They're not teaching them what they need to learn. And when you go to the Bible, to the Torah, it tells you that's something a parent's supposed to be doing, teaching the children the law, where the instructions that they need in order for them to live righteously before YAHUAH, so he can be in the midst of us. And if you're a grown person, or you have children, this is your duty to teach your children this law, and to help them so they know it as they grow, so they will depart from it. But I'm gonna start actually in the book of Jubilees, chapter 10, and just like I say, to explain, because it appears that a lot of us don't understand how can I put it? You don't understand your enemies, how powerful your enemy is, and you don't understand how powerful the weapons you have, the two-edged sword that you have, is to be able to fight back. When you don't understand something, it's just like if you've never used a gun and I hand you a gun, you're not going to even know how to use that gun. You might even end up shooting yourselves. It's just like the word of Elohim. If you don't know how to use it, your enemy will be in front of you, terrorizing you, and you won't be able to know how to pull the trigger or fight back, so you can let them, so they can move away from you. Because that's what makes it harder for some of us, because we don't have enough support, or we're not surrounding ourselves around people who are in the word, who truly love Elohim, that will help you come out or help you win this battle, because we're supposed to help one another. We are here to help one another. We are in it together. So again, I've been trying to do this video for the past few weeks, and unfortunately I have not been able to. But tonight, it was Shabbat just finished, and I just wanted to take some time and talk to you, to explain to you. So what you're fighting, it is not, it comes into a physical form once the demons, they have dominion over your mind. So it starts with the mind first. It starts with the spiritual first, and then you start expressing those reactions in your flesh. And this is where the danger is. So if you can fight back in your mind, so you don't have to react or become what the evil spirit wants you to turn into. Okay, so to bring you to that darkness, when you get into that dark world, your eyes become dark, you have no light in you. So anything that is evil now becomes good to you. Anything that is good become wicked to you. And I will explain further. So in Jubilees chapter 10, I'm going to read. So like I said, you get an understanding of your enemy, who you're fighting. Because it's not that you can see them, it's just they're just spirits that are there just to what, to make sure you transgress. Because like I said, a lot of the society we're living in, a lot of us, although people are going to church, but they still are not using, they don't know how to use a weapon out of their ignorance. And a lot of them, they just sit in front of pastors so they can tell them, while they have the word in their hand, they can read it themselves and be able to fight with it. And you find a lot of people who are struggling because of shame, that and I also want to tell you, it's nothing to be ashamed of. When you have some kind of struggles you're struggling with, and you just, like I say, surround yourself with people who can understand, and people who can help you, fight that demon. Because it's a demon. We all, like I say, have different struggles. And many of the struggles that some of us have, and you find some people, they struggling with fornication. That means people who's going having sex, unmarried, not having a partner, but they're sleeping with anybody they want to. And we have adultery, people who are married and they go and sleep around with other people. And you find idolatry, which is idol worships. This is something that's happening in Christianity, because they are going to church and yet they're worshiping Jesus, a picture. Because that's why most of them, when you ask them who's Jesus, would you pull the picture, they say this is him, but it's not the guy that actually died for your sins. And it tells you in Deuteronomy chapter 4, you should not, even Exodus 20, you should not make to yourself any idols, anything, a picture of a man or a woman, whatever is above the heaven, the hosts in heaven and under the sea, what have you. So people have problem with that. You can get them out of that. And you find that homosexuality, and some people, when that spirit come over them, and this is what they're fighting with. And if you don't find the right help, it will destroy you. It will get you to that point where you become so dark in the spirit, your spirit becomes so dark, and you get involved more into things that are unnatural, because you don't find the help. And sometimes you're unable to fight back the crave or this ruach, because it's so strong. These demons are very strong, and once they possessed you, and if you die in that sin, it's over. And some people, they're struggling is lie. They cannot stop lying. And anything they try to not do, and all these are sins that I'm calling out, that we are fighting with. Nowadays, you have something they call gender identity. Some people, they have problem self-acceptance. They have the transgender thing that's going around, which is really destroying the youth. And out of, because Satan that take over that mind and makes them see things that are not, make them love their natural, and make them confused. Actually, people become confused. They can't even tell the truth. They can't even tell what's real or what's not real. You understand? And you have people who's fighting with suicidal thoughts. Those are evil spirits that are working in your thoughts. And you have people, it's murderers, serial killers. Some people, they have that thoughts. And, once the devil that's in the realms, the spiritual realms, able to have dominion over your thoughts, and you're gonna say it's nothing, and you're gonna start killing, and you're gonna love it and love it, just like the spirit of homosexuality or the transgender. You hear most of them say since they were 5, since they were 3. Listen, Satan does not discriminate. It starts at the youngest age, the old, and the young, whichever he can get in. Whenever he finds a loophole to get in, and he's gonna get access and have dominion over your mind, that you become dumb, you become, fully dark, because these demons are dark spirits. Then they do nothing but to take you down, make you see the darkness, wickedness. That's all is in your eyes. And and you find people bestiality. I was watching something the other day so baffling. This young lady, she has no shame that she's talking about it's the best relationship with a dog, so she sleeps with dogs. And she even know states that allow you to do these things. These things are abomination. You cannot do these things. So why would a young woman want to sleep with a dog? So these are the kind of demons that we're fighting. Without the word of Elohim, without the Torah, when you get deep into it, the ruach get into your mind, it twisted. Like I say, Satan has the ability to make you see what is wicked is righteous, the unnatural become natural to you. That's because we reject what the Torah, the word of Elohim, when we embrace the Torah, learn it, like we're supposed to stay in the word and ask Yahuwah to give you wisdom and understanding, some of those issues you'll be able to actually overcome. And it's just like Yahusha, after he finished to pray 40 days, 40 nights. Like I said, he doesn't discriminate. Whoever you are, he's going to come and test you. Satan, if he cannot accuse you, if he cannot convict you, he will accuse you before the Elohim. He will do whatever it takes, because I say his agenda is to steal, kill, and destroy mankind. He vowed to make sure to destroy that, and he is doing a lot of destroying, because with those spirits that are flying nowadays, and if you ask any young woman, especially with that transgender, they tell you can be any sex you want. Some of them even say that they don't have a sex. It's just like when you hear people saying this thing, you actually know they're not acting out of the norm. They're acting outside of the norm, and you can tell that they're possessed by a spirit, because there's two sex, male and female. For you to tell someone that a male can become a female, which scientifically is it impossible. You cannot just change your sex like this. Yes, you can have what you call castrate yourself, but in the outside appearance, you can look like what you think, what Satan make you think you are, but you're not. You're still what you were born as. And like you hear people say, they don't want nobody. They will assign you with a sex when you were born, and they don't agree with it. And when you listen to these people talking, you can see that's not only an illness, but you can see that they're they were possessed by this evil world kids that I'm going to read about in Jubilees chapter 10, that you can see that it's not them acting out of the norm. Once that evil spirits take over your mind, when it's able to do that to you, so right now you're going to do things that are against nature. You're going to do things that are against the word of Elohim. Because as you know, Elohim created the heavens and earth. He created Adam and Eve. And the purpose of him creating Adam and Eve, because remember, Adam was by himself with the animals in the Garden of Eden. And when he noticed that Adam is lonely, he created what? Out of the ribs, he created a female. The reason for it is so that life can keep living, not ceased. Because if you don't have a male and female, there will be no life. And for instance, let's say if you take what you call, we go back to the transgender problem, that's going on, and they make the people believe, and the Satan make you believe that you feel different. This is how you feel. You cannot if we were living according to how we feel or be what we want, it's just like telling a black person they can be white. It is impossible. You can bleach yourself all you want. You're going to look white, but you're not white. It's just like when they tell a male, oh, you can be a female, and they say they feel happier, which is not true. Because if you go online again on YouTube, a lot of these young children do start at a young age. When they finish to do all this transition, they're happy in the moment. In that moment they're doing all this, surround themselves with a lot of people who's possessed by the evil spirits, and after they come to the right mind, after they've been, annihilated or castrated, Satan now did what he wanted to do, put you in a position where you are unable to reproduce. And like I say again, a male and a female are there to keep giving life. We give life. Like I say, if you were to take a transgender man, which means a female, that went to the procedures and have remove their breasts, and I've watched one of those videos. It's very saddening. They remove their ovaries and everything, and not taking a piece of their arm or wherever they choose to take it, and put a piece of flesh in front, and taking testosterone, and they look like a man, but you are not a man. And if you take that transgender man and you put that person with another woman, which is still two women, and if you were to say, okay, just like in the days of Noah, as you go, he has three men three sons, and the sons as his wife. Now, if you were to take three of the transgender men and three female, you put them on the island, and let's say in their 20s, you say, okay, I'm going to go back in 80 years and see if you find life. It's the same vice versa if you to a transgender woman, which is a male who cut his penis and had fake boobs, really look like a woman, but you're not a woman, and you put them with another guy. If you were to go in each of these islands in 80 years, let's say they're in their 20s, you know, you will not find life. What I mean by that, because life, male and female are the ones who allow life to keep going, recycling. Because now, where is Noah? Where are his sons? Is because they were able to reproduce and fill up the earth. If it was for that case, like you put a transgender man with a woman and put them on an island for 80 years, you go back, you will not find life there, like as human being, or a transgender woman with a male, you will not find life. But if you put a male and a female, you put these three islands, you go back in 80 years, I guarantee with the male and female, you will find life. Life will still go on. But on the other two islands, it will cease. And this is what Satan's agenda is, to make sure that you transgress and that you cease to live, because that's what he's done. He started with Adam, the first Adam, make sure he sinned against Elohim. That's why he was kicked out of the Garden of Eden. Understand? So with that, all the sins, all the transgressions, all the wickedness, that we're born in sin. And that's why I thank God, thank Elohim for his son Yahusha, who's able to come and die for our sins, that now we're able to live, not experiencing the second death. That's another subject, but this is where it leads to, with after Adam and Eve sin. But like I said, it is hard, and you find some people, if it was something that's natural, you wouldn't be ashamed to talk about it. A lot of people are ashamed to talk about it. Now they make it okay, people can happily comes out, in the spur of the moment, you'll be happy, but they never show you the under layer of all this happiness. People put front, but there's a lot of hurts under that layer, and people go to an extreme trying to say, okay, this is how I feel different. Yes, it's okay, we'll feel many different ways, but feelings doesn't change who you are. Feeling doesn't make you a man. If you were born a female, you are what you are. And the problem is like self-acceptance. You have to learn to love your body for who you are. Yahuwah does not make mistakes, okay? He created you perfectly. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are his works. And also, we know that. We know that. And I've heard so many testimonies. There's this young lady who went through the transition from a young to look like a male. Does she look like a male? Absolutely. And afterwards, when she finally got to her senses, like I said, after Satan finished to screw you so badly, you've done so many wicked, and lucky for her that she hasn't died in her sin. Hopefully she hear the word and repent for her sins and sin no more. Just like the young lady when he was standing at the beach, and everybody come and bring her, they wanted to stone her to death because she was caught in doing adultery. Although they didn't show the guy, but of course they bring the woman. And what did Yahusha said? He who has not sinned cast the first rock. God say, and when after everybody is gone, she said, where are your accusers? And this is what Satan do. He's the great accuser. And it says that I don't see them. And what he said, go and sin no more. And you find Ezekiel chapter 18, it tells you Yahweh does not enjoy killing anybody. His thought for you is to give you hope in the future. He doesn't enjoy killing the wicked. That's why he's telling you to repent from your sins. If you repent and you start living righteously, you will live. But if you don't, you will die. And if you are doing righteous and you end up becoming wicked, you will die in that sin. You dead. The second death have power, and you have no other places but to go down in the bottomless pit with them. Like I said, I will say that no sin is greater than the other, whether you're a liar, whether you're a fornicator, whether you're an adulterer, homosexual, whether you practice bestiality. The wages of sin is death. So again, embrace yourself, your surrounding, your environment. Go into an environment that are not possessed with such evil spirit. So I'm gonna start reading some of the verses, like I said, so you can see that your fight is not gonna be easy. It are evil spirit, but yet you have the best weapon in your hand, which is the Torah, the book you have in your hand. Use it. Just like Moshe when he come after they left Egypt, Misrahim, and they end up being in front of the Red Sea, and what happened? When Pharaoh and his army was coming and the people are screaming, they tell you they're gonna die. Some of them say they're gonna plunge in the ocean and die. Some say they don't wanna go back, and some say they wanna fight back. And Moshe now with all these people is like, okay, we just move away from them. Now they're coming to kill us. When he called Yahuah, what did he say? Use what's in your hand, which was the stick that was in his hand. He said, use it. So when these evil spirits come, you have to use what's in your hand. Is the word of Elohim, and it's for instance, it's for a man who's having that homosexual, spirits, trying to entice them to get into it. It's trying to get dominion, to make you feel like, no, you're not a man, you're a woman, making you feel that way. And when you start getting that spirit, so you have the way to fight, because first of all, man shall not live by bread alone, but every word that comes out of Yahuwah's mouth. And also knowing that you were the first to be created as a male. Male was the first to be created. You're special. You are there for a purpose. Your purpose is to keep giving life. You have life in you. Life in you. And with you and the woman, you guys able to keep life, to keep going, keep living, not ceasing, but keep going. And understand that when it comes to you, say, no, I was fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are God's work. The wages of sin is death. I was born a man and I'm going to remain a man. Whether, you cut your peanuts, you put long hair, you take whatever shots weekly you have to take, you're still a male, regardless how you look, or vice versa for a female. So you talk to the spirit. You have to face your enemies. You cannot hide from it. Yes, people can pray for you, but you the one that have to do the fighting. You the one that have to stand against that spirit. Say, no, I am not gonna do that. And use the verses that Yahuwah gave you. He created male and female. So if I was created a male, I was fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous. Yahuwah doesn't make mistakes. Okay, his word never changed. Whatever he sent to accomplish, he will accomplish. He's make you perfect. You are perfect. I am perfect, and I don't need to be a woman to love myself. I'm gonna love my body for who am I. And a woman, learn to love your body, a female body. Learn to love who you are. Don't let the spirit telling you, no, that's how you feel. That's how you want to be. No, that's not gonna change anything. Let yourself know, I'm a female. I'm the giver of life. I bring life to this world. This is your duty. And again, if you ask yourself, what good is a man that cannot give life, or a woman that cannot give lives? Life will cease. Our job here under this to keep giving life, because when you pass, your children keep living for you and in you. You know what I'm saying? So it's use the word, use the verses. So let's go to Jubilees chapter 10. Let me see. This is the time after Noah and his grandchildren. What happened? Satan, after the flood, and they start attacking the children of Noah and his grandchildren. So he went and prayed to Yahuwah. You read the whole chapter for yourself. If you don't have the book of Jubilee, just type it online. It's gonna come up. Read the whole chapter. It's very interesting. I just want to go to that certain part to show you that the spirit that you're fighting, they're in the spiritual realm, and you can fight back. And just like Yahusha, I'm going to read the verse with Yahusha. He fought back, and he said, if you resist the devil, he will flee from you. And I want you also to understand, Satan, if you don't have the spirit of discernment, he can come to you. He can even change himself into look like an angel. These spirits can transform into human-like. They can come and talk to you. That's why be aware of your surrounding. Be aware of who you entertain that comes to you. The spirit can turn into the spirit realm and come talk to you, knowing they know you're struggling with. You're already born in sin. Whatever you struggle, they can come in and try to entice you. Oh, it's good. You can do this and that. What have you? No, it's not good. And it's just like somebody who practiced murderer. And people wouldn't, it starts from a young age. It's the feelings start until you start agreeing, yeah, maybe I can do that. Let me try it. Once you try, you start loving it and you think it's good, but it's not good. It's wicked. Anything that's off outside of the Torah is wicked. What makes a man wicked is not just killing somebody, but is the way or you live your life against anything unnatural, things that Yahuwah said, like the Exodus, the 10 Commandments, anything that outside of the commandments makes you wicked. If you, what make, again, you keep the commandments, you live righteously. You don't keep the commandments and you living wickedly, because you're doing everything outside the instructions that Yahuwah gave to Moshe. So in verse okay, I'm gonna start reading in verse 3. Verse 3, and it reads, as Jubilees chapter 10, and it reads, and he prayed before Yahuwah, his sovereign ruler, and said, Yahuwah, of the spirits of all flesh, who have shown mercy unto me, and have saved me and my sons from the waters of the flood, and have not caused me to perish as you did the sons of perdition. Okay? For your free unmerited pardon has been great towards me, and great has been your mercy to my soul. Let your free unmerited pardon be lifted up upon my sons, and let not wicked spirits rule over them, lest they should destroy them from the earth. You see what he says here? Let not the wicked spirit rule over them, lest they be destroyed on the earth. And this is the same reason why Yahuwah destroyed the earth with the flood, is those wicked thoughts, wicked things they were practicing, and all these things that I may name, bestiality, homosexuality. It's not something that's new. This is what they were fighting against. Since after Adam sins, remember we were born in sin, those transgressions. He told them to repent, don't do it no more. That's the same like the day of Noah. They were doing these things, and Yahuwah destroyed them. And those spirits, when they come and have dominion, that said, if you don't fight back, they will overtake you. You know what I'm saying? So he was pleading with Yahuwah, asking him for help. Don't let this evil spirit, rule over his sons. Verse 4, he says, but do you bless me and my sons, that we may what? Increase and multiply and replenish the earth. And again, for somebody who's been having the thoughts, like I said, they real. And another thing we have to put in mind, a lot of people that you see turn into that, they're looking, it's something, it's an action that causes a reaction. In other words, most of these people that suffer from that, they've been abused or but by someone, and that triggers, or the spirits just see the whole something, and then you start giving you the little thoughts little by little, and the next thing you know, once you start accepting it, you walking funny, different, feel like, oh, this is right. Plus, you find, like I said, the environment, the society is acceptance to it, all this wickedness. And, it's okay to you. It becomes a norm. What's unnatural now become a norm. You know what I'm saying? Because we reject the Torah of Yahuwah. So him here, he's pleading because he saw what happened in the flood. And he doesn't want the same thing. He wants his son to be free from these wicked spirits. And verse 5, it reads, it says, and you know how your watchers, the fathers of these spirits, acted in my days. You see, this is what I'm saying. This is, like I say, that we live it like the day of Noah. That's what these things they were doing. And as for these spirits which are living, imprison them and hold them fast in the place of condemnation, which is hell, and let them not bring destructions on the sons of your servants, my sovereign ruler, for these are malignant and created in order to destroy mankind. That's why they're there. They will destroy mankind. And verse 6 is, and let them not rule over the spirits of the living, for you alone can exercise dominion over them, and let them not have power over the sons of the righteous from henceforth and forevermore. So this is the prayer that Noah was doing, because he dealt with the spirits. He'd seen them before the flood, before they die in the flood. So he kind of they come back again to attack them. Remember, they spirits in the realms, spiritual realms. You cannot see them, but once they take dominion of the thoughts of your mind, you will act out of the norm. Unnatural thing become natural to you. So now, verse 7, it says, "And Yahuwah, our sovereign ruler, bade us to buy them all." Now, here's the thing in verse 8. Now, it says that in the chief of the spirits, Mastema, which whom we call Satan. Now, remember, his agenda is to steal, kill, and destroy. He will do whatever he can to make sure to destroy, because he want to destroy mankind. If he cannot accuse you, he's a great deceiver, and he will deceive you. If he cannot convict you, he will accuse you before the great Elohim. So that's what he does. So now coming to Elohim, pleading to lift some of his spirits, so he'll be able to have dominion over the thoughts of men. I'm going to read it so you can see. "And the chief of the spirits, Mastema, which is Satan, came and said in front of Yahuwah, Creator, let some of them remain before me, and let them listen to my voice, and do all that I shall say unto them." And these are the spirits that when Satan send them, that's what they go out and do. Take dominion over your thoughts, And this is for, if some of them are not left to me, I shall not be able to execute the power of my will on the sons of men. So you'll not be able to do that if Yahuwah locked them, all of them up. And if these are for the corruptions and leading astray before the judgment, for great is the wickedness of men. And it is true. Remember, after Adam and Eve sinned, we come out, we're born in sin. So that's something that we cannot escape until after we give up the ghosts, what you say, we die from this body. And if you keep the commandments, you're going to have another body. That's only because this body that we are in is sinful, and Satan knows that, and he knows your weakness. But at the same time, Yahuwah, the great Elohim, who's merciful, he's giving us instruction, which is called the Torah. And Noah had it. He taught it to his son, and goes on to Abraham, and it comes out to Moshe, where he gives him the 10 commandments, so we can follow. With that, we'll be able to fight, and he'll be able to bless you. So you know what I'm saying? This is where the line go. But like I say, we cannot escape the sinful nature body until in the only way that we can be in the presence of Yahuwah, by keeping the instructions, which is the commandments and laws and statutes. So without the commandments, laws, and statutes, with living in this sinful body, you're going to be corrupt. And all you're going to be doing is wickedness, because it's going to seem good in your eyes. And it says, woe to them that call good evil and evil good. And now you're seeing that, like I said, just as the day of Noah. They're calling the spirits, those people who's the evil spirits or dominate or have dominion upon. Now they're calling homosexuality good, transgender good, thieves, like I said, the hypocrisy, because now they make these things like it's a good thing. Bestiality, like I said, I've seen this young lady on TikTok. She's saying that she's having relations with dogs. These things appear good in some states. She said allows you to do this thing. So this is a wickedness that they calling good. Yeah, the lock, because if everybody was to come out, for instance, that the murderer say, well, I feel that was since I was young, and it started at a young age. Like I said, it plays in the mind before it comes out. The reactions comes out physically out of your body, but it starts in the mind. And everybody start demanding to be accepted. You see the chaos we'll be living in, and we are living in a dangerous ground right now. You have to be very careful, and we know Elohim is coming back. YAHUSHA is coming back. That's why you have to be careful. You seek Yahuwah while he may be found. Watch your surrounding. Choose your friends carefully. But now to go on, and Mastema now came to Yahuwah. He's asking for Yahuwah to live some of them with him, the 10th part of the rural kids to stay with him, so he can so he can execute his power on the will of his will on the sons of men. Verse 9, and it reads, and he said, let the 10th part of them remain before him, and let 9 parts descend into the place of condemnation. Verse 10, and one of us he commanded, and that we should teach Noah all the medicines in the earth that he knew, that will not walk uprightness and nor strive in righteousness. And verse 11, it says, and we did according, that's the angels not talking, we did according to all his words. And all the malignant spirits, evil ones, were bound in the place of condemnation. Now imagine if those malignant was out. And it says, in the 10th part of them we left, that they might be what? Subject before Satan on earth. Remember? So those 10th parts are the one that's causing all this chaos. The 10th part is the one that goes into men's mind. As long as they find a loophole, whatever they find, you know, if it's the lying you struggling with, because like I say, there's no sins greater than another. You have the lying spirits. What's in the commandment? Thou shalt not lie, and people are lying to one another. When you lie to people, you hurt people. You know, all these are wickedness that we cannot do. And like I say, adultery. You know, people who's going around in marriage and just sleeping with other women. You find fornication. You know, you find prostitution. These are all the wicked spirit, you know, who goes and dominate your mind, let you feel like it is a good thing. And you, like I said, they can transform in the form of human being and, you know, trying to entice you, letting you know, oh, it's a good thing. And you think you're talking to a human being, but you're not. You know, that's why I say, be careful who you entertain. You know, these spirits are real. Once they take dominion of your mind, your eyes become dark, you're blind, you're dumb. You're not acting out of the norm. You know, everything unnatural become natural, evil become good, good become evil to your eyes, because you're not yourself, you're possessed with these wicked spirits. And verse 12, and we explained to Noah all the medicines of their diseases, and even diseases that you see. Like if you remember in the time of Yahusha, how he used to heal the lame. All he do, he just speak. And because once that spirit come out, the person come back normal. You know, and I thank God that, you know, we cannot see these spirits because they're very ugly. They're not good to see in the eyes. And there's a reason why we cannot see them. But when they come in you, you know, they cause you to be crippled, the hand and everything. That's why when Yahusha talk to them, he say, get out from him. You know, that's when you live this righteous, how you'll be able to speak. Remember all those healing he was doing, even the blindness. You know, these spirits cause these diseases, those sickness. They are involved in it. You know, if you remember one of them, when the child, that man that keeps screaming, biting, and do all these things, they possess. There's different kind of evil spirits that when they possess you, act differently. And some of them, you don't scream, you don't do bite, you don't do anything, but it goes in your mind, make you act out of the norm, unnatural thing. Like this young lady, she is possessed with a wicked spirit that took her sleep with a dog. And what it says in the Torah, anybody who sleeps with an animal, both that human and the animal, you're supposed to kill them. You know, everything that are condemnation, that are unnatural, Yahuwah give his orders. That's why you stay in the Torah, you read your Torah. Now, like I said again, and we live in a society, all these wicked things are okay. You know, they approve it. They give you a license to do it. You know, the good become evil, then evil become good. And if you were to talk about that, you get shun by, you know, they call you, what, discrimination. And you know, when, you know, it's wickedness. And this is the things that we're fighting. That's why we have to stay strong. If you can recognize the spirit, and you will recognize the spirit. That's why I say ask God for the spirit of discernment, because not all spirits are from God. Like if you see these evil spirits, they're out there. They're looking for you to steal, kill, and destroy. They're out there roaming, looking for any opportunities to jump from this body to another body. You know what I'm saying? So that's why you have to be careful. Stay in prayer. You know, if you need that help, find somebody that's in the Torah that can help you. It's nothing to be ashamed of. You know, when you're fighting these kind of spirits, sometimes you don't have the strength, but somebody else can help you. You need the encouragement to tell you, don't give up the fight. Don't give in to the spirits, but you have to fight. Continue to fight and resist the devil, and will flee from you. And like I say, and Noah wrote down all the things. You know, the angels now, there are some medicine, some leaves that you can use things that will have the spirits go away. Like I said, you can cast it out in the name YAHUSHA HAMASHIACH. It will go away. Because they afraid. He said every knee shall bow in front of that name, Yahusha, the son of Elohim. They will bow down to it. That's why when he called out the spirits, there was one of them in Matthew or Luke, I believe, when they say, where would we go? And he said, go to the pig. And that young man become normal. And even if you read the lost books, there is this child that was possessed with evil spirit doing the biting, all this, like I said, there are different kind of evil spirits. When they come in, you act differently. You may see the person look normal. That's, for instance, again, I'm going to use, sometimes, okay, criminal, you find a murderer, they look normal, they look fine. But the thoughts that they have, they killing people. When you see them, you probably like, oh, he looks a normal person. When they come after a serial killer, for instance, they come at the nicest person until they able to trap you and do what they have to do, which is killing you. Now, these are like I said, the different spirits you see. They're not screaming, biting, or taking their clothes off, but they act as the normal person. But these people are possessed with wicked spirit. And like I say in the book of the lost books of Yahusha, and these spirits, when they overwhelm that child, this is a reaction that he did. And once the clothes of Yahusha was able to fall upon him, all those brookets run away. So those medicine that he gave, they're still there. Some like I think I don't remember the name of them, but there's some leaves that you have, the spirit will not stay in your house, and at the same time, you know the voice and the certain things, the verses, reading, stand prayer, and you can cast them out in the name of Yahusha. It's so many different ones. Like I said, diseases that you see, like the cripple, there are rockets that come in the body that cause you to be that way, and you can cast that out. You can cast that out. And I did a reading in, I think it was Jubilee, that, to let you know the reason that we suffer so much is because of the wickedness of our heart, the transgressions of men, the sins that we were born into. Now, to go through verse 13, and it says, Noah wrote him down, and thus the evil spirits will preclude from hurting the sons of Noah. And he gave all of the written to Shem, what have you. So like I say, read the whole book and you will see it. And even when you go to Jubilees chapter 12, even YAHUAH, what I'm saying, his prayer, because he was there in the time of Noah, and all these things were explained to him, and he know what we're fighting, what we're up against. So in his prayer, and then in your prayer too, that's a good prayer that you can make every night, every day. And for YAHUAH to help you, and also you have Psalms 19, you have verse 33. Those are good Psalms. I'm going to do a prayer so you can repeat, daily, that to help you out. But in Jubilees chapter 12, verse 19, this is the prayer that Abraham made, because he understood what he's fighting. He understood the evil worker that are spirits that are in the realm, the spiritual realms that we do not see, but that's fighting, trying to destroy us and trying to take control of your mind. This is what he says in verse 19. And he prayed that night and said, like I said, read the whole chapter yourself. It says, my Elohim, my God, my God most high, thou alone art my God, and thee and thy dominion have I chosen. And it says, and thou hast created all things, and all things that are the works of your hands. Verse 20, deliver me from what the hands of evil spirit, who have what? Dominion over the thoughts of men's heart. That's what I say. When those evil spirits get dominion over the thoughts of your heart, you become the good, become evil, evil become good. But remember, it says, woe unto them that call evil good and good evil. You know what I'm saying? So those thoughts, when they have dominion, you act out of the norm. Everything that are unnatural become natural to you. You understand? And the finish, it says, and let them not lead me astray from thee, my God. And it says, and establish thou me and my seeds forever, that we go not astray henceforth and forevermore. So those spirits, agenda when Satan sent them. It's not to love you, not to give you hope, it's not to give you a future, but to destroy you, to make sure that you cease from living, to make sure you die in your sins so you can come join him where he's at. Because like I said, his agenda to steal, kill, and destroy. And once you left them, you give him that leeway, you give him that loophole, this is what's going to happen to you. You're going to die physically and spiritually, and you will experience the second death. And the Torah is what's trying to help you, stopping you from experiencing the second death, because Yahusha already had the key. Now if you live righteously, you fight till the end, you run the race, you fight this demonic spirits, you live righteously before Yahuwah by keeping the commandments, laws, and statutes. Now your reward is not going to be death, it's going to be life. And you'll be able to live when Yahusha come back. You'll be able to live with him within a new body, which is angelical body. But if you let them get dominion over you, don't fight back, then your wages is death instead of life. So that's why Moshe said, I give you life and death. I'm going to find a verse, how it says is right. It says choose life. How you choose life is by keeping the commandments, laws, and statutes. And in Proverbs chapter 14, verse 12, it says, there is a way that seems right to a man, but the end of the way is to death. What is that way? Like Satan, when he get dominion over your mind, again, I'm going to go back to somebody who lies a lot. To him, he's telling the lies. It's okay. It seems right to him to tell lies to gain whatever he's trying to get, or to get out of situations. But he doesn't know that way that he thinks is right for him to tell a lie is leading him to the way of death. And is just an adulteress, because it's in the commandment. You shall not commit adultery. You shall not lie. You shall not steal. You should honor the Sabbath, Shabbat. You shall not have no other gods before Elohim. You shall not serve no idols. All these things are there. You shall not envy your brothers or sisters. All these things, uncleanness. You shall not do all these things. Bestiality is there. You shall not do these things. Because like I said, when he has dominion over you, these things, those unrighteous things, become righteous in your eyes. So there's a way that seems right unto man. The end of it is the end of death. So ask God for the spirit of discernment, that you may be able to discern what is right and good. And the reason I come to this chapter here is to show you how Satan is able to transform to become whatever. Once he can appear to you into a wise man, or old man, or a young man, or he can appear to you like an angel form. Like he can even appear to you as, talk to you as if you think you're hearing the voice of God himself, but it's not. That's why you need the spirit of discernment. You need to pray daily, fight, read keep the Torah. That's what's gonna help you out. And in this chapter here, I'm just gonna read some of this here so you can see, and read it by yourself, okay? And it's important to read Joshua chapter 23. You can just type it. Like I said, if you don't have the old books, you're gonna see how cunning Satan is, the damages that he can cause. Now in verse 25, I'm going to start in verse 25. Okay, verse 25, I'm going to read just partial of it. Now, to tell you the whole story is when Satan, actually, if you read the chapter before, came to Elohim. And when Elohim asked, where did you come from? And he came to accuse Abraham. He could not convict Abraham, but he come to accuse him, saying to Elohim that, since you blessed him with Isaac, the son, that he has forsaken you. And Yahweh knew the heart of Abraham. He did not forsake him. He says because of that son. And he's saying if you take his son away from him, watch him, he's gonna leave you, because he knows man's heart. So that's what Satan do. Like I said, if he cannot convict you or deceive you, he's gonna accuse you before Elohim. Then that's what he did in verse 25. And whilst Abraham, now that's when Yahuwah already told Abraham, Yahuwah talked to Abraham, say, I want you to bring your son Isaac to me and offer him as a sacrifice. And Abraham, who's he loved Yahuwah so much, and with him obedience. He's so obedient to him, and nothing is too big for him to do for Yahuwah. Like I said, he knew Abraham, the type of heart, the type of love he had for him. So when he sent him, Satan noticed that Abraham did not deter, and Abraham was willing to bring his son for sacrifice. Then he pack up and everything and getting ready, getting on the road to do it. And what Satan do, he's going to try to deter Abraham from doing the same thing he would accuse him of doing, not doing the sacrifice, offering his son as a sacrifice. And I'm going to start again in verse 25, and says, whilst Abraham was proceeding with his son Isaac along the road, Satan came and appeared to Abraham in the figure of a very aged man. You see, again, he can appear, the appearance, his wicked spirit, his devils, they can appear to you in any shapes or form that they can, animals, what have you. He can do that because he have this 10th part of this evil spirit that he can use and do these things. So when he appeared to him as an aged man, humbled and contrite spirit, and he approached Abraham and said unto him, art thou silly or brutish that thou goest to do these things to this day to thy only son? You see how cunning it is. He come like he is a wise, humble old man, asking him if he's silly. That's the same one that went to God and say, God, listen, he's not going to listen to you, but he's the same one that go trying to deter him from doing the exact same thing he told God Abraham will not do. You see how cunning and deceiving and deceptive and wicked he is. He's dark because it's all his agenda to make sure Abraham go astray from God and not doing the will of God. So you see, he comes in the old man, trying to persuade him not to, kill his only son. But in reality, Isaac was not Abraham's only son. That's the son with Sarah, but he had a son. Ishmael was his son. So you see how cunning. That's why you have to be, ask God to give you a spirit of discernment to be able to discern, his voice and the voice of Satan, and to be able to see clearly. In verse 26, it says, for God gave thee a son in thy latter days, in thy old age, and wilt thou go and slaughter him this day because he committed no violence? And wilt thou cause the soul of thy only son to perish from the earth? So this is the thing that's telling Abraham. If Abraham will not budge. In verse 27 it says, dost thou not know and understand that these things cannot be from God, from Elohim, Yahuwah? You see again that he come to deceive and trying to determine. It says, for the Lord cannot do unto men such evil upon earth to say to him, go slaughter thy child. But it's not true. God is the one he kills and give life. You know what I'm saying? So he brings all these thoughts to Abraham, trying to make him what? Stop from his way and go back home and not doing the exact same thing he went and accuse him of doing, not want to do. Verse 28, and Abraham heard and knew that he was the voice of the word of Satan, who endeavored to draw him aside from the way of Yahuwah. But Abraham will not hearken to his voice. And Abraham rebuked him so that he went away. And you think Satan will stop there? No, he didn't. Now, when he could not deceive Abraham, then he went what? He went away and returned and came to Isaac in the appearance of the figure of a young man, comely and well favored. Like I said, these spirits, they can do that. He can use a spirit to come to you. If you have something you're struggling with, you might find somebody coming to you telling you, oh, it's okay. Just for instance, like the transgender thing. Some people who think that, they're struggling with the thoughts for a long time, and you probably find somebody, man, it's good, it's acceptance now. You don't have to fear. You can be a man if you want to. You just go to the doctor. I've done it. Probably said, they probably come looking transgender. You thinking that's what it is, and telling it's not no sin. God knows. That's who you are. That's how you feel. All these things are gonna bring the thoughts coming in you, who's not well equipped, or don't have the word of Elohim with you, or who's not praying and seeking, or and surround yourself among people who are the same like mind. You're gonna say, yeah, it's true, because you're gonna appear to, I'm very happy now. I used to do this. I used to be that. Now I changed. That I'm a happy person. You're gonna be be happy. You who you are, you cannot, live an unhappy life. This is the thing, the thoughts that they come bring to you. And when you start agreeing, they want you to agree, the spirit just keep talking to you, then okay, I guess I can try it. And this is where you get trapped. So in verse 30, and he approached Isaac and said unto him, Thus thou not know and understand that thy old silly father bringeth thee to be slaughtered this day for nothing. And he goes on, Now therefore, my son, do not listen nor attend to him, for he is a silly old man. And let not thy precious soul and beautiful figures be lost from the earth. You see how he's trying to entice, deceive him, so Isaac can say, No, father, I'm not going. But Isaac know also the spirit of discernment. What did he say? And Isaac heard this and said unto Abraham, Hast thou heard, my father, that which this man has spoken? Even thus has he spoken. And Abraham answered his son Isaac and said unto him, Take heed to him, and do not listen to his word, nor attend to him, for he is Satan, endeavoring to draw us aside from doing what? The command of God. Like I said, Satan, that's what he does. He's going to draw you away from living righteously. He's going to draw you away from keeping the commandments. He's going to draw you away from you to see the evil, good, and good evil. Anything that is unnatural against the Torah, against God, he's going to make it look good in your eyes so you can start doing it. Woe unto you who listen to him. Now, what does Satan do after he went away? Now, he's still trying. He doesn't want to keep the fight. That's why you have to resist. You see, Abraham and Isaac, they resist him from having him deter them. And verse 34, what did he do? And Abraham still rebuked Satan, and Satan went away from them. What did he do? And seeing that he could not prevail over them, and hid himself from them, and he went and passed before them in the road, and transformed himself into what? Into a large brook of water in the road. And Abraham and Isaac and his two young men reached that place, and they saw the brooks large and powerful and mighty waters. And they entered the brooks to pass through, and the waters at first reached their legs. 36, and they went deeper, and the brooks and the waters reaches up to their necks, and they were terrified. Satan do that to you, in account of the water. Whilst they were going over the brooks, Abraham recognized the place, and he knew that there was no water there before. Like this is all the spirit of discernment. When you keep the commandments, you have the spirit of discernment. He can discern that. He say, hey, wait a minute, this is a road I go through every day. There is no water. And Abraham said to his son Isaac, I know this place, in which there is no brooks, no water. Now, therefore, this is Satan, who does all this to us, to draw us aside from this day from the command of Yahuwah. So he recognized that was Satan doing his thing to stop them. And Abraham did what? He rebuked him in the name of Yahuwah. He rebuked Satan, and Satan was gone from them. But Satan didn't stop from there. He went on. He's still trying his best to make sure that he convict them, because he went to accuse him, and he cannot convict him, but he accused. Now he's trying to deter him in any way that he can. So when you're fighting with the spirits, all things, he's going to come to you, he will send his legion. He will send all type of things in you. Now it's you that have to face it. You have to say, no, this is what the scriptures say. This is what God created me as, and I am not going to listen to it. Now, when you resist them, you know how many times he flees from Abraham and Yitzchak, and he still come back bringing other stuff. That's why you have to keep resisting, And if you see here in Matthew, even Yahusha, after he prayed 40 days and 40 nights, what did he do? He says, and when he had fasted 40 days and 40 nights, he was afterwards hungered. This is a way, because he looked for a weakness in you. Anything that it's already a weakness. He knows. And that Satan knows the scriptures as well. Don't be fooled now thinking he doesn't know the scriptures. Not only he can talk to you, can come to the appearance of an angel, he knows his word. He knows the word of Elohim. And also he can appear to you in anything form he likes. And he watch to see what you love the most. Your weakness. He prey on that, on your weakness. You know what I'm saying? So that's why he went and attacked Yahusha after praying 40 days for that. He knows he was hungry. What did he say in verse 3? And then he tempted, when the tempter, this is Satan, came to him, he said, if thou art the Son of God. He knew he was the Son of God. Command these stones to be made bread. He knew. It's not something that he tried, but he's asking him to do something, that he is not supposed to be doing. What is Yahusha say? He answered and said, it is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceed out of the mouth of Elohim, mouth of God. And this is in the Old Testament. He quoted that scriptures. Remember that. And the devil taketh him up into the holy city, and setteth him on the pinnacle of the temple, and said unto him, if thou be the Son of God, cast thyself down, for it is written, he shall give his angels charge over thee concerning thee, and in their hands they shall bear thee up, lest thou shine thy foot against the sun. This is Psalms 91 that Satan quoting. You see, he knows this verse, and Yahusha knows this verse too. So that's why I say you have to face the wicked spirit. Once they throw a verse at you, I'm pretty sure some people will find a verse when gonna do the wicked. Say it's okay now. For instance, you find now, the homosexuality is in church. Now they're accepting. There are pastors who's fully homosexual, living a lifestyle, and they're pastors. And where in the Bible you see that's not everything that's evil is good. Good become evil. So so I say you have to be careful. These things are acceptable. And what did Yahusha say? After he quote Psalms 91, this is Yahusha now saying unto him, it is written, thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy God. And again the devil taking them off and exceeding him high mountains and shewed him all his kingdom. You see, he's still coming back at him, trying to convict him, but he can't. Every word he throws, Yahusha throw right back at him. He threw a sword at him, he threw his sword right back at him. You think he'll go away? No, because he want to be able to destroy, because he knew what Yahusha came to do, because he was able to come overpower Adam and Eve. Now the second Adam, which is Yahusha, because he knew Yahusha came to do what? To take the key of death, to the new covenant, which is dying. We no longer have to offer sacrifice for sin. That's the only thing he came for, and to be able to, so we can live again after we give up the ghost in this body. But he knew, so his agenda is trying to stop him, to make him messed up, just like he did to the first Adam. And like I say, Yahusha, Satan know his scriptures. Yahusha know his scriptures. That's why you throw the scriptures at them. He's gonna throw it back at you. You throw it back at him. And and again the devil take him up in the sitting mountain, like it says, and shoot him all the kingdoms of the world and the glory. What did he say in verse 9? And said unto him, all these things will I give thee, if thou wilt fall down and worship me. Now, what the commandment said? You shall not have no other God before me. You know what I'm saying? Now, yeah, can he show you all these things? Yes, he can show it to you. It's those of you who loves money. That's a weakness. When he sees that, he's gonna attack you from there. He's gonna show everything, all the right reason why you should do this to get that money, that riches that you so long to get. You know what I'm saying? In verse 10, what did Yahusha say? And Yahusha say unto him, get thee hence, Satan, for it is written, thou shalt worship the Lord thy God, and him only shall thou serve. Isn't that the first commandment? The first commandment, the first and second commandment. Then what did the devil do in verse 11? Then the devil liveth him, and behold, the angels came and ministered unto him. So this is the fight you have to fight, like Yahusha. You have to fight. Don't give up. Don't give up. And don't be ashamed, to talk to somebody if you need the help. Talk to somebody, that's in the word. Don't go to somebody that's already possessed with evil spirit, because they're not going to help you. And another greater person, you can go to YAHUAH, talk to him, ask him for help. They say you ask and you shall be giving, seek and you shall find. If you seek him sincerely, You need help. He will help you out. And you face the spirits when they come. Use the scripture. You have the weapons in your hand. Use what's in your hand. The scriptures, the Torah. You go to the Torah. It tells you what to do. Okay? And like I said, verse 39, people who's fighting their gender just identity, self-hate. You don't love themselves, who think that they're not perfect enough. What does it says in uh in Psalms 139, read the whole chapter. And I'm just going to read this verse, start on verse 13, so to show you when Satan just telling you're not a woman, or you're not a man, you're a woman, you're meant to be a woman, you were born in the wrong body. There's no such thing as Satan. Evil spirits is trying to make you think that. And once they able to get dominion, little by little, they talk to your mind, and and then in the spiritual, that's why they attack you spiritually. In your thoughts, in your mind, once your thoughts start agreeing and accepting it, and then now the action, you're gonna start, your body now gonna start feeling it, and you're gonna start acting out of your physically. You're gonna start acting out. And verse 13 it says, For thou hast possessed my reins, thou hast covered me in my mother's womb. Verse 14, I will praise thee, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are thy works, and that my soul knoweth right well. A lot of people who change that, they know in the back of the mind what they're doing is wrong. Even the killing, lying, bestiality, they know. But yet, because of the weakness, he finds your weakness, and when they have dominion, now the right become wrong become right. But a lot of them know. It's just like this guy was saying, after he went through all the transition, become a transgender woman, and he with his own mouth to say, what? I realize that I'm still a man no matter what I do. Now he want to detransition, and the damage that's done to his body is already done. Now he has no penis, you know. It's just a hole at the bottom, and now he's trying to become a man again. You see what Satan do to you. He can destroy you mentally and physically, and after he's done, he just left you. Now, a lot of people end up committing suicide. When they feel that, okay, they cannot come back because that's not how they were. At first, he makes you feel like, you're not perfect. You were born in the wrong body. But after you finish through all this transition, and then you're working, you're like, whoa, what did I do? That's what one of the girls said, who let me did this to myself? And then when you start to realize, whoa, I'm still a man. Regardless of what I do, the alterations, the plastic surgeon, I'm still a man. And it's a little bit too late for some people, because they're already gone through all this and not to detransition, and it's a mess, but it's not too late for you to repent and turn to YAHUAH so you don't die in your sin. Yes, your body is messed up, but you can still return and repent to YAHUAH and keep the commandments, laws, and statutes. Okay? In verse 15 it says, My substance was not hid from thee when I was made in secret and curiously rough in the lowest part of the earth. That's when your mother and the father are having sexual encounter. Verse 16, Thine eyes did see my substance, yet being unperfect. That's when the seeds, the sperm. And in thy book all my members were written. When he knows you. He know who your name was gonna be. He know your body, how he was gonna shape you. He knew all these things. Nothing is caught God by surprise or YAHUAH by surprise, which is in continuous with fashion when as yet there was none of them. You know what I'm saying? And how precious also are your thoughts unto me, O God, and how great is the sum of them. How precious is Yahuwah's thought unto you. And this is where I'm going to read Jeremiah 29, verse 11. It says, For I know the plans that I have for you, declares YAHUAH, plans so as to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future. Compared to Satan, plans for you is to steal, kill, and destroy you. But Yahuwah's plan for you is to prosper you is to give you hope, not to harm you. Like I said, he doesn't take joy killing those who transgress. He doesn't. That's why he gives us so much chances. And thank God he never told Yahusha when he was coming, because whatever words that comes out of his mouth, he would have to fulfill it. Not the angels. No one knows. So he sit there giving us chances after chances after chances, time after time. If we don't take heed to it, don't die in your sin. Remember, we're living just as the day of Noah. All those wickedness are happening. If you hear the word, you hear the commandments, do not harden your heart. Turn away from your wickedness. Return to Yahweh. Repent for your sins and come back and keep the commandments, laws, and statutes. Okay? Again, I'm going to read it. Jeremiah 29. Remember that. For I know the plans that I have for you, declares Yahweh. Plans to prosper you, not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. And he says that if you go to Deuteronomy chapter 28, all these plans that he tells you what I'm going to do. Yes, he was talking to the children of Yashar'el. And you say, okay, I'm not, the descendant of Abraham. But yeah, it's for everybody. If you keep the commandment, remember, the Egyptians from the lineage of Hamites, they were with the children of Yashar'el who formed Shem, so which means the other nation, strangers, he called them, the other nations who attach themselves to Yahuah. You're supposed to keep the same commandment, laws, and statutes. And if you go to Revelations chapter 9, and if you see all those other people that are there, they're the other nations. So yes, you too can be saved. You too have a chance when you give your life. You turn away from the wickedness. You go to Yahweh. You keep the commandments, laws, and statutes. Yes, you will be saved as well. It's for both the children of Yashar'el and the stranger, the other nation who are not, a descendant of Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yashar'el. Is for all of you. Again, if you read Deuteronomy chapter 28, and he show you how he's going to prosper you, but, not you have to keep the commandments. You have to keep the commandments. Don't listen to any pastors, anybody that the law is done away with. People like this, stay away from them. You must, because the commandments, they are eternal ordinances, which means you cannot cut from them. You cannot tell me, like, for some people, you hear they say the Sabbath is when you die. After you die, this is just like a rubbish. It's pure rubbish. That the Sabbath is for you who's living now, and also you're gonna do it as well, because he said you work 6 days in the week, the seventh day you rested. So like I say, you have to ask Yahuwah to give you wisdom and understanding. He will give it to you liberally. So to show you Deuteronomy 28, he has also have the blessings and the curses. The first stop, the beginning, it told you all the blessings that will befall you. But it says, but if you do not hearken, not keeping the commandments, these are the curses I'm going to drop onto you. I'm going to give to you. So I thought I'll just bring that up. You read it yourself. And just to read a few verses, it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto what the voice of Elohim Yahuwah, to observe what to do, all what his commandments. Which commandments? The law that he gave to Moshe, the commandments, laws, and statutes, the 10 commandments, all of them. If you read from Genesis to Deuteronomy, you will see all the commandments. You will see all the commandments, in details how you're supposed to keep it. You know what I'm saying? So, and this is if you keep all the commandments, the laws, and statutes. Don't listen to people that tell you the law is done away with. It is there, it's alive and well. You have to keep it in order for you to receive all the blessing. Not taking your money to your pastors. He didn't say that. That's not what's going to give you the blessings. The blessing is by you keeping the commandment, the laws, and statutes, to observe everything that he ordained you to do, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth. Verse 2, it says, and all these blessings shall come upon thee and overtake thee, if thou wilt do what? Hearken unto the voice of Elohim Yahuwah. And I'm not gonna read all of it. Like I say, read it for yourself. And Ezekiel chapter 18, we're gonna do verse 20. And the soul, he says, that sinneth, it shall die, and the son shall not bear what? The iniquity of the father. and neither shall the father bear the iniquity of the sons. The righteousness of the righteous shall be what upon him, and the wickedness of the wicked shall be upon him. But if the wicked will turn from all his sins that he has committed, and keep all my statutes, and do that which is lawful and right, he shall surely what live and shall not die. What he means by that, yes, the body that the sinful body that we're born will die regardless. And some of us will not see death. It says that it's the scriptures, the prophecy. But those of us, but the body will be dissolved. But we have one, like Yahusha say, I'm going to go up and prepare you a body, angelical body. If you read Baruch, you're going to see that the angelical body that will be giving to us, like angel, like we can transform to anything, is beautiful. So that's what he means. You will not see death. You will not die, which means when you live this body, which has to go back to the earth, like I said, his word does not return back to him void. He says, from the dust you were made, from the dust you shall return. The way you come, that's how you go back. But when your soul, you who's living in this house, once you come out of it, you're going to find another house ready for you, another body. That means you're going to live eternally. We're going to live with Yahuah in Yahusha in the new heavens and earth. And that's what he's mean, that you're not gonna die, okay? And all, verse 22 says, all his transgressions that he have committed, they shall not be what mentioned unto him. And his righteousness that he have done, he shall live, okay? And it's the same for those who know who was living righteously become wicked. It says it further down, like I was telling you before. Yahweh's thought for you is to prosper you, to not to harm you, to give you hope in the future. You see what he says here in verse 23? Have I any pleasure at all in the wicked shall die, saith Yahuwah, and not that he should return from his way and live? He does not take pleasure killing you. That's why he gives the commandments. He's giving you chances after chances. You know what I'm saying? In verse 24 it says, when the righteous turneth away from righteousness and committed what iniquity, and doth according to all the abominations of the wicked man doeth, shall he live? Absolutely not. All his righteousness that he have done shall not be mentioned, and his trespasses that he have trespasses, and his sins that he have sinned, and then shall he die. So again, I'm encouraging you, don't give up. If you need help, seek help. Seek Yahuwah while he may be found. Okay? Yahuwah loves you. His thoughts for you to give you a hope and future. Don't let Satan have dominion over your mind. Fight back. You have the weapon in your hand, which is the commandments, the laws and statutes, the word of Elohim. That's your commandment. Know your scriptures, because Satan knows his scriptures as well. And he can come to you in a voice like God, but he's not. It's a spirit of discernment. Ask God to give you that. And with that, I'm going to tell you shalom. May Yahuwah keep you. May he guard you. May his face shine upon you. May he give you the wisdom and open your eyes to see the secret of the Torah. May he strengthen you always. And I say that with love. And again, shalom.